Well, the short story is, and this is a very practical thing that I think that people who have kids who go to college can directly relate to, but it'll make sense for anybody. Which is, I remember some years ago when my older daughter was just starting at university. Um, Something they said in orientation was they talked about making it small. So basically, taking the practice was to take this big university and make it small. And what they meant by that was for students to get engaged in either clubs or activities or as opposed to just letting themselves get lost in the large university, to make it small. And they make it small by finding their people and finding the people with common interests, and however they went about that. So I really appreciated that for my daughter. It was my first daughter going to school, so I had a little bit of anxiety, about her doing well and being okay and that sort of thing. And so when we think about just whether it's at work, or maybe it's something over the holidays, or something where it feels like there's just so much going on, or there's another way that you can think about it is starting a creative project of some kind, or any sort of task that seems like it has a lot to it. I remember some beautiful advice I read from Swami Kriyananda. I think I read it, where it was to be practical in your idealism, is what he was saying. And what I took that to mean was to do what you want to do something good now, and then make it better. Put more energy into it, but don't let the the scope of a project, or you can even think of it like the scope of life, just stop you from taking a step, from doing something now. And so that's just that kind of, because we can get into it's almost like a paralysis, where it's like we think that because we tend to think that we have to have the whole thing figured out, no matter what it is, before we even just take a step. And so that's where I really want to focus for this meditation here, is just that idea of making things small, just doing what you can right now. And you can even apply that to establishing a meditation practice. If you don't have a regular meditation practice, thinking about creating this whole new practice, this whole new meditation practice, or this whole new spiritual outlook or spiritual practice or something like that. And it feels just too big. Like you want to understand the entire philosophy of thousands of years of yoga science. I actually spoke to someone at one point, who was just felt like he couldn't get started because it was so vast. And I don't know, we tend to want to know everything before we embark. So with that in mind, just what you can do, whatever you can do with good intention, no matter how small, do that. And that might be just saying, I'm going to meditate for 5 to 10 minutes starting at 7:30 a.m. starting tomorrow, every day, or 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 12 p.m., whatever it is. um, or anything else of making that big thing that feels big, no matter what it is, no matter what aspect of life, making it small. So we'll just do a little bit of relaxation. Relaxation is essential for meditation, but not relaxation in the way that we're accustomed to, like sleepy meditation. I'm sorry, sleepy relaxation, or dozy, snoozy relaxation. Body and mind relaxation. We can do that with some simple belly breathing. It's one way. So we can start with that. I'll invite you to get yourself in a nice position, a nice posture for meditation, which is just make sure that you're sitting for this, and with a nice upright spine. You lift your chest slightly. Draw your shoulder blades together gently. If you're sitting in a chair, see if you can get your feet flat on the ground so that you feel supported. Close down the eyes gently. And behind your closed eyes, behind your closed eyelids, gently uplift your gaze. And so that uplifted gaze, where we're looking at the point between the eyebrows, it's actually a little bit above, kind of the center of the forehead. That's a spiritual eye. That's our center of higher awareness. Uh, Anatomically, the prefrontal lobe of the brain. But you're not crossing your eyes upward. It's just a gentle, uplifted gaze, like looking at off at a distant treetop. Allow yourself to simply be here for a few moments. See if you cannot move your body. See if you can let your body be still. Good. Now, just a little bit of belly breathing. You can place your hand on your belly if diaphragmatic breathing is new for you or if you're not accustomed to it. That can help you so that you can inhale, breathing in and out through just the nose, just the nostrils. Inhaling, you'll feel your belly rise. You'll feel your hand rise if you guide that breath into your belly. And then as you exhale, you'll feel your hand fall as your belly goes in. Just a little bit of belly breathing here, resetting the nervous system, doing a little bit of reprogramming for calmness. You can remove your hand from your belly if you think you've got it, if you placed it there. Just a few more moments like this. See if you can allow yourself to be right here. Make this small. This is all you need to do right now. Nothing more. Those thoughts about tasks in the future or what you were working on before, you can let those go. They'll be there. But right now, just see if you can be here. Simply sitting with your eyes closed, gaze gently uplifted, guiding your breath into your belly. Knowing that there's nothing else that you need to do right now. There's nothing else that you should be doing. Let that word should go. Let it go forever. Good. Now let's go into a short practice of a meditation technique, the Hong Sau meditation technique. Check in with your posture. See that you're sitting with an erect spine and upright, sitting nice and upright. Chin is level with the floor. Eyelids are closed softly. And eyes are closed softly behind the eyelids, with the gaze gently uplifted. And begin to tune into your breath. Become an observer of your own breath. You may at first just notice it mechanically in your belly or your chest. See if you can notice it in your nostrils. See if you can feel the air passing. And wherever you can feel the air passing in your nose, focus your attention there. Don't control the breath in any way. You don't have to guide it in any way. Just let it come completely naturally and observe it. Make this small. That's all you need to do right now is watch your breath. See how high in your nose you can notice your breath. If you notice that your gaze, your eyes have fallen, gently uplift them once again. With practice, it'll become easier to hold your gaze gently uplifted. But if you're just starting out, when you notice your gaze has fallen, let's lift it back once again. This helps to uplift consciousness with orientation toward that spiritual eye. Again, no straining, never any straining. Always be relaxed. Relaxed with the gaze, relaxed with the breath, relaxed in the body. Good. You can begin with the Hong Sau mantra. When you notice yourself inhale, say just in your mind, Hong. When you notice yourself exhale, say just in your mind, without moving tongue, lips, or teeth, Saw, like a saw that you use to cut wood. Hong, Hong, Hong on the inhale, and Saw on the exhale. Over and over again, accompany the natural breath with the mantra. This will help you to concentrate, give your mind something to say, sending a peaceful vibration throughout your consciousness. Hong Sau is Sanskrit, the language of yoga. It means I am spirit. You don't need to focus on the meaning. Simply allow your mind to repeat the mantra along with the breath. You can add the third and final component of the Hong Sau technique, which is a slight movement of the right index finger. Place your hands at the juncture of thighs and abdomen, palms facing up. When you notice yourself inhale and you say in your mind, Hong, gently curl your right index finger toward your palm. And when you notice yourself exhale and you say in your mind, Saw, allow that finger to extend back out. Hong on the inhale, curl the finger. Sau on the exhale, extend it back out. This will give your body something to do and help you to concentrate. Continue with your practice of Hong Sau for just a few more moments. Good. Now, take an intentional inhale through your nose and a triple exhale through mouth and nose. Let the breath all the way out. Let it stay out for as long as it wants to. When it wants to return, allow it to do so. Let go of the technique. You don't need to watch the breath. Repeat the mantra or move the index finger anymore. Check in with your posture. Check in with your gaze, that it's gently uplifted. And now for just a few moments, allow yourself once again to simply be here. Allow yourself to enjoy just a few moments of this space, knowing there's nothing else that you need to do, nowhere else that you need to be, nowhere else that there is to be, other than right here, sitting where you are. Allow yourself to be. Now, take a normal breath in and out. Prepare to come back to the space where you are. And when you're ready, slowly flutter open your eyes.